Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Euro 2020 fantasy football content. My name is Dan and today I've got a video all about my team, all about how I'm getting on and all about how I'm going to be moving on to the next stage of the tournament. Now, I'm probably going to be in the same boat as a lot of you guys whereby I don't have a wild card unfortunately, so I might have to make a few changes to my team given that 7 of my players have been eliminated from the tournament. A lot of you guys are going to be completely sympathetic to this situation. You know exactly what it's like. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be dealing with this situation, and hopefully that's going to help you deal with the situation yourself. If you're not on a wild card, if you do have a wild card for this match day, then fantastic, congratulations. It's going to be a really nice boost for you. But yeah, hopefully we're going to put a positive spin on everything that's going on right now. A few surprises, France being knocked out, the Netherlands being knocked out. It's not the end of the world. We're going to try and move past it, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So guys, if you do enjoy what you see today, please do leave a like on the video. Really massively appreciated. Massively helps out the channel. And of course, do subscribe if you love fantasy football just as much as I do and you want more fantasy football stuff all in your face in video form. But guys, without further ado, let's have a look at how I got on last match day in match day 4. Okay guys, so here is how I got on in match day 4. As you can see, it wasn't the most amazing match day. You can't have it go your way every single match day, that's for sure. There was a couple of surprises. We all know there was many surprises in this match day, which you can't really always confidently predict. And when things don't go the way of the odds, the way of the predictions, the way of the stats, then that obviously does mess with you a little bit if you are playing a game largely based on stats, largely based on odds, which I still do believe is the right way to play it. So I was at a world rank of 4,000th in the previous match day. I have dropped unfortunately to 7,422. That's still not bad. That's still incredibly good out of 3.5 million players. That's still, you know, we're well within the top percentile of all players. So it's a wicked score still. It's still really good, but obviously it was a really disappointing match day for me. I was very much hard hit by the lack of Netherlands returns. Obviously they got knocked out, lost 2-0, which means Memphis Depay, Wijnaldum, Dumfries, Stekelenburg as well, all kind of blanked, if not worse. Dumfries on a 0-pointer, which was really disappointing. Alba didn't start the game. That was really disappointing. You know, Italy losing their clean sheet, disappointing again. There were a few saving graces, you know. Merla there did really well. Pogba scored his banging goal. Damsgaard scored, or did he get an assist? Maybe it was an assist. Actually, now I think about it, because he assisted to Dolberg, didn't he? Which Dolberg, fantastic in that game, by the way. But Damsgaard did get that assist to Dolberg. Aside from that, there wasn't really too much going on. I kind of didn't do great with captain. Spinazzola was my first day captain. He got 5 points. He was on 9 points right until the end of the game, which was so disappointing. And with that clean sheet had come through, then I'd have a 9-point captain. I would have been really happy with that. Obviously, I'd have points from Donnarumma as well, so we wouldn't have to switch out the goalkeeper. Obviously, then we had the disaster with Pavard. A few of you guys who follow me on Twitter will know the emotions that I was going through when I did captain Pavard. I was planning on captaining Alba on that day. Obviously, Alba didn't start, so I bottled it and went for Pavard. Pavard ended up with -2 points, 3 goals conceded, yellow card, gives away a penalty. You can see here on screen, -1 point. So good job I was able to switch the captain off him at least to Emil Forsberg, who, although he did get 14 points because of his goal, he could have scored 3. He could have easily been on a hat-trick, so hitting the woodwork twice. So good chances creating a little bit as well. So really kind of frustrating in that regard as well. None of my strikers returned. How did Immobile, Lukaku and Depay all blank? I will never know, but that's just one of those things that happen. So overall, could have been a lot worse, but could have been a lot better. The surprises really did catch me out. So I've got some thinking to do of what I'm going to do this match day, but hopefully guys, I've got this in the bag. So let's move on, try and be positive. The rank is still really good. I'm still in the really good areas. Maybe the top 1,000 in the world is probably not on it anymore, but if I can get sort of top 2,000 in the world, I'll be you know, that's still incredible. That's, you know, something that is just amazing, isn't it? So let's see if we can do that with some very progressive, very smart changes. Okay, I'm just going to lay out every player on the pitch as I have them right now, and then at the end, when everyone's on the pitch, where you can see every player that I have right now, I'll show you the transfers that I'm going to make to try and improve the situation. So let's start off with what I've actually got. So we've got Donnarumma in goal against Belgium. It's not an ideal fixture, of course you'll know that, but the saving grace here is that typically, these games between the big teams have been a little bit more tightly contested. Not as many goals, not as much goal fest. Ironically, the weaker teams seem to actually be scoring more goals against the stronger teams than the stronger teams playing against the weaker teams. We've kind of been seeing that a little bit throughout the tournament, to be honest, and the most recent example is the big clash between Belgium and Portugal, 1-0 affair, Germany and England, 2-0 affair, fair enough, but that could have easily been a 1-0 or maybe even a 0-0 if things didn't go quite to plan. But yeah, hopefully this is going to be a clean sheet for Italy, because I have got Donnarumma. At least I've got a nailed on goalkeeper, and at least I've got a goalkeeper who is likely to go all the way in the tournament, and at least I've got a goalkeeper from the best defence in the whole tournament, you will probably say. Now that's certainly what we've been saying so far until they conceded that unfortunate 1 goal last match day. But not to worry, we're moving on to defence, and even more reason why I want that Italy clean sheet is because I've got Spinazzola, one of my favourite players of this entire tournament. I think we've all really been enjoying him. I know there's a couple of fullbacks that are being knocked out, so we've not got the joys of Dumfries anymore. So Spinazzola is kind of one of those stand-out fullback, so he's really attacking, you know, a left back with a right foot, basically cutting inside and trying to create some chances, taking some shots on as well. Very similar to Merle here, who has also been an absolute legend. Who I've not, you guys know by now, I've not shut up about him for the past month. He's just my favourite. It's just my favourite Denmark player, so I'm really glad that I've got him on my team still, and I'm really glad that Denmark have got this favourable fixture against the Czech Republic. I've kind of spoken about Czech Republic in yesterday's video, how they're probably still one of the weakest teams in the remaining 8, and that's not throwing shade at them. If you're the weakest of the top 8, then that is still really good, but we still are looking for those weaker teams of the remaining teams. I really like the look of Denmark. I really hope that they can do a little bit more, go a little bit further. I think they can go past this round, certainly. I do think they're more than capable of beating the Czech Republic. I think their defence is actually pretty good. I think that Mela is one of their best attacking players. I've got another good attacking player from them to come up in a second, but we've got him as well. We've got Alba, who I'm not 100% sure is going to play. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he starts this next game. I don't know if 100% sure if he is going to play or not, because he was rested / not played because of worries about yellow cards the last game. So maybe he comes back into the team. The Spanish media has kind of been mixed on this. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. So maybe they do need a contingency plan here just in case Alba doesn't play. But if he does, a game against Switzerland is not too bad, is it really? I know they did really well against France, but I don't know. France have kind of been a little bit disappointing in general this tournament anyway. So maybe I know Spain haven't exactly lit the world alight in this tournament, but you give them a little bit of a chance, wouldn't you? And there's certainly that chance of a clean sheet. But more importantly, I'm not expecting too many clean sheets in this round, to be honest. But more importantly, Alba is a player who is on the ball a lot. He's very creative. He plays high up the pitch, and he can get those assists. He can possibly get some goals as well, possibly. But assists is probably what we're looking at and hoping for from Alba in this game. And a clean sheet really is going to be a bonus at this stage. And I think that kind of goes for most defenders at this point. You're kind of hoping for attacking returns more than clean sheets, because clean sheets kind of seem a little bit by the by at the moment. They really do. So here's my midfield. I've left in Wijnaldum and Pogba. Like I say, there's going to be 3 players on this pitch who are eliminated, because I've got 7 players who are eliminated. So 3 have to stay on the pitch for now, and then we'll deal with them in a second. I'll show you what we're going to do. So Wijnaldum and Pogba are my 2 most expensive midfielders who have been knocked out of the tournament. So those will be the guys I'm looking to replace. I may as well replace the most expensive eliminated players, because then at least I can get the most from the money, from the transfers, the most players, you know, the most expensive players when I'm doing my transfers. So they'll stay there for now. We're going to replace them in a second. We've got Damsgaard, who, like I said, another really good player to have in this Denmark team. I'm really growing to like this guy. He is he's playing for a move, isn't he? Maybe a summer move for him. Possibly, because he's just doing so well. So maybe he's going to burst onto the scene. He's a really young guy, and he just looks so full of confidence and stuff, and it's really nice to see. And I do, like I said, I do think Denmark are going to get through this round, and that's going to be because of players like Merla, because of players like Damsgaard. I don't know, maybe Dolberg, if he starts again, which I do think he will, he's going to be a big contributor as well if the Denmark are going to go through. But Merla and Damsgaard, certainly 2 of the best players that you could possibly have from this Denmark team, that's for sure. And we've got Berardi as well, who we know is just an amazing budget option, really. Is he 100% going to start? I don't know. Chiesa looked pretty good, so that maybe Chiesa comes in and replaces Berardi. Although equally, you could possibly say that Insigne drops out, but I don't think that's very likely, to be honest. So Berardi is going to be another one who is a little bit risky. Is he going to play or not? So you're kind of seeing some problems here already, guys, and this is going to be happening to everyone. Even though we might think, oh, okay, we've got 8 players who we can play. That's not too bad. You know, fix that up, get to 11 players with our free transfers. Could be worse, but then you get to a situation where 1 or 2 of your players don't play in this match day, and suddenly there's a couple of 0-pointers on the pitch, and that's something that we don't want at all, do we? So there's a possibility there. So moving on up front, we've got Immobile, Lukaku, and the eliminated Depay. Of course, Depay is the most expensive of all of my eliminated players. So he's definitely a player I'm just going to whip out, use that money, get a player in who can actually play in the remainder of the tournament. Immobile and Lukaku is an interesting one. Obviously, they're 2 world-class strikers, 2 strikers that have looked incredible this tournament. Yes, they blanked last match day, but you wouldn't say that they're going to blank for the rest of the tournament. It's definitely going to be goals for one of these players in the remainder of the tournament. We don't know who it's going to be. One of them is going to get knocked out. I do think Italy are going to be the slight favourites in this game, so I'm not too worried about having 4 Italy players, particularly as we get 5 transfers next match day, which is going to be an incredible help, an absolutely incredible help. But it's more the point that what if Belgium do win? Because that is a very, very big possibility. But if Belgium do go through, it's probably going to be because of Lukaku. If Italy do go through, it's probably going to be because of Immobile. So from that perspective, I guess I've got both covered, but I'm not going to pretend to you guys that this is a perfect situation, because it's not. I am going to try and be positive wherever I can, because that's kind of what we're all about here. Just trying to keep positive and make positive changes and be progressive, and not dwell too much on the past, because I'm in a fantastic position. Top 7,000 players in the world. It's really nice. It's a really nice position to be in. So, yeah, let's whip up the bench, and all of these guys are eliminated. Stekelenburg, Pavard, Alba, and Forsberg, Forsberg I was kind of surprised by, because I did think Sweden would get through, beat Ukraine, but that didn't happen, apparently. So, yeah, we've got those 4 players eliminated as well. So, with that said, we need to replace 3 players. We've got 3 free transfers just in order to get a full 11. That's pretty standard. But, guys, I am going to make a 4th transfer, take a -4 hit, so there will be -4 points knocked off my score, because I am not 100% sure about players like Alba, players like Berardi. I'm not 100% sure they're going to play. And if one of them gets a 0-pointer, by taking a -4 to bring in another player, the -4 points is actually going to be more like a -2 points, realistically, depending on the extra player that I bring in. Now, because it's Alba who I'm worried about, as well as Berardi, this means that I might not be able to field a minimum of 3 players. So although I've said before, guys, I'm not really sure if you should be transferring in defenders, which I kind of still do stick by, depending on the defenders. Because of this situation, I feel like I do need to get in 1 defender as a contingency player, if you like, who is going to cost me -4 points to get in. But if Berardi gets a 0-pointer, if Alba gets a 0-pointer, then realistically it's only a -2 points, assuming the player I bring in brings me in a minimum of 2 points, and the defender I'm going to be bringing in is certainly going to be a player who I think could do that. Okay, so let me do the transfers then. So Depay, Wijnaldum, Pogba, and Pavard are all going to be removed from my team, and they're going to be replaced by Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Sarabia, and on the bench Shaw as well. So we've got triple England now. England, we know, have got a really nice path all the way to the final now. You really, really do think that England will beat Ukraine? Like, surely England beat Ukraine, judging by the results so far in this tournament. And you'd also say that surely England keep a clean sheet, which is why a player like Shaw is a defender I'd be willing to bring in. And I kind of said that yesterday in the video as well. If I absolutely have to bring in a defender, it's going to be an England defender, and I do stick by that. I do really stick by that. So England player Shaw is going to be the defender to come in, obviously offering a lot of creativity off that left-hand side. Obviously, England have probably the highest probability of a clean sheet in this match day, so for that reason, it's a good bet to take, a good bet to make. On that -4, you're betting 4 points, basically. You're putting 4 points as your stake. Can you get a nice return on that investment? With Luke Shaw, I think you can. There's certainly a better chance of it coming in than it not coming in, and that's good enough for me. That really is good enough for me, even though it's not 100% sure going to happen. 100% sure going to happen. God. But yeah, going on to future rounds as well, it could pay me back. If England were to go through, even if I don't recoup all of my 4 points this match day, going further a little bit forward, an England defender is going to be really nice to have. You know, we're going to be talking about England playing against the Czech Republic or Denmark in the semi-finals, assuming they go through. We've already kept a clean sheet against the Czech Republic, and I would also back us to keep a clean sheet against Denmark as well, and that's from a fairly pessimistic England fan as well. So yes, we've got Harry Kane scored his first goal, got that confidence back. He's going to be looking really good, and then if we can take Harry Kane all the way through to the final, he's going to be the main man. One penalty, he's going to get a goal. You know, he's going to be looking for some more goals now and prove himself at this stage and playing for a move perhaps away from Tottenham Hotspur. We've got Sterling, who I know a lot of people don't like, but at the end of the day, he is our top scorer at this tournament. 3 goals in 4 matches. That's pretty incredible, really. It's not bad at all, and he is that unique player, and he does have to play every game for England, really, because of the unique outlet that he brings to that England side. He's the only runner. He's the only guy who's going to run in behind and make those runs, and he's also hungry and wants to be inside the box and score goals. He's got a lot. He probably feels like he's got a lot to prove, in particular after maybe a slightly disappointing season just gone by. So he's going to be really nice to have. We've got Sarabia, who has just kind of come into this Spain team and just done the business. Absolutely, he's kind of become one of their main players. In a lot of disappointments in this Spain team, and I don't think Sarabia is one of them. I think he's looked really progressive and really attacking in the box, wanting to create, wanting to score goals. This is exactly the kind of thing we like, taking plenty of shots, making plenty of passes. Spain, with all their defensive fragilities, I guess, their attack has looked pretty good in parts. Even if they haven't always been finishing off the chances, they've been generating lots of shots, very high XG. So I do want to be in the Spain attack somehow, and I think Sarabia, at the price he is not a bad one to go for. And I do think obviously Spain are going to get through, going to beat Switzerland as well. There's going to be surprises, guys. There's obviously going to be some surprises here, but hopefully not too many. Hopefully not too many. At the end of the day, you've got to keep going with the odds, because if you average it out over the course of the entire tournament, or if you're playing FPL, if you're averaging it out over the course of the whole season, the odds get it right. The odds get it right, and there will be a couple of surprises, but if you keep going with the most likely outcomes, you will get the best score. So I'm going to stick with that philosophy, to be honest. I'm not going to make any outside bets, if you like. It's just not my style, guys. Not at this stage. Unless I see something I really like, I probably won't go for a differential. But yeah, we've had some differentials in this tournament already, which have gone off really well. But they've all been because I actually really like it. I really like the underlying stats. I really like the look of the player, kind of thing. But yeah, we're gonna stick with the obvious ones. I think as we try and secure a good finish to this tournament, we're gonna go a little bit obvious. So yes, guys, we're taking a -4. We've got one option off the bench there. Overall, it's looking pretty good. I think I've got a couple of captain options here as well. I'm not exactly 100% sure who's the captain. I'm most tempted by a Spain attacker, and since I've only got Sarabia as as Spain attackers, maybe that's the one to go for on the first day. I'll probably make a fairly last-minute gut decision on that one, because other than that, who am I going to go for? Alba, I don't know if he's even going to play. We've got kind of the Italy guys against Belgium. It's kind of risky, because who's going to win out of those teams? I don't know 100% for sure. Maybe you just go for Sarabia. Maybe that's just the play there. And then on the second day, it's looking a little bit nicer, because we can go for Harry Kane, and that will kind of be sorted there. Maybe even Sterling if I'm feeling a bit risky, but Kane does seem like the obvious pick to me. And yeah, that's pretty much how I'm going to look for this match day. I'm pretty happy with those decisions. I didn't want to take a -4. I didn't want to be in this situation particularly, but I think I can make the most of it. I think I'm going to have a big advantage over a lot of people who I already see like some of you guys in my comments, and I'm pretty pleased if you're watching this. Please don't do this, but I've seen people sort of taking -16 or -20 points. You don't need to do it, guys. You don't need to have a full squad of 15. You really don't. Like 11 players who are guaranteed to play is good enough. If you're worried about one or two of your players, take a -4, get someone on the bench. As long as you've got 11 players and maybe one bench option, that's going to be good enough. And going into the next round, when we get 5 free transfers, you can fix the rest of it then. Don't worry about doing too much right now, because you're just going to end up putting yourself in a hole. You know, -20 points is huge. You could drop down. Literally, if I was to take a -20 here, I'd probably drop down to like 100,000th in the world instantly. Just just like that, easy, and I'd suddenly be trying to claw myself back, all because I wanted to get a bunch of bench players who may not even play because my players who I've already got might outperform them anyway. It doesn't make sense to me, and I've kind of spoken about that in another video, so I won't talk about it too much here. But yeah, I'm considering the situation, this I think is the best move for me, and hopefully this is going to help you to make similar moves if you are in a similar situation as well, guys. So I really do hope this video has helped. If you like this video, please do drop a like, really helps out the channel. Please do subscribe if you want more fantasy content, you want to see how I get on all the way through to the end of the tournament. I don't know how we're going to do, but hopefully we're going to do pretty well. Obviously, I'm always going to try and be confident. I'm always going to try and be positive and try and make positive changes constantly and keep going forward, keep marching on, we move, if you like. So yeah, we're going to keep doing that, and yeah, guys, I'll be streaming, locking in these transfers on stream, locking in captain on stream, and answering any questions that you have in a stream 1 hour before the deadline tomorrow. So do join me there. Look forward to seeing all of you guys who do join me on the streams. It's always an absolute pleasure. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye bye.